Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black on Black Cinema. I'm your host Jay. I'm here with my co-host Micah
Hey,
and Terrence.
what's up?
All right, guys, we are back. This is episode 262, The American Society of Magical Negroes. This is directed by Kobe Labe. It's also written by him, starring Justice Smith, Zachary Barton, and Anthony Coons, as well as Mia Ford and many other folks. All right, so the general premise of this film is a young man, Aren, is recruited into a secret society of magical black people who declare their lives to a cause of utmost importance, making white people's lives easier. I'll go with Terrence because I know his thoughts on it from talking to you last week, which was hilarious. Terrence, what do you think of this movie?
Yeah, I said it was when we recorded on Monday or Tuesday. Yeah, I don't like this movie. I don't like it at all. It's competently shot. It's like everyone is fine acting or whatever. The premise, they failed miserably on the premise of this movie. We all know the Magical Negro in movies. They're helping white folks. And that's what they wanted to do with this movie. But they took a supposedly funny. They tried to be funny. It was nowhere near comical in any way at all. It was very corny. They failed. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. The logic of this movie makes no sense. Then they threw a fucking love story in the middle of this thing. They tried to make like racism this guy's problem when it really was him alone. I don't like this character, the main character.
Aren's character.
I hate Aren. That nigga's a clown. Like, for real. Like, he's in the position he's in because he's a clown.
Oh,
That's it. That's not because he's black. And again, they picked like the lightest black.
White passing. You
don't think that's on purpose? You don't think that was on purpose?
He didn't fucking make it known. That's what I figured. I'm like, okay, you picked a light skinned person just because even light skinned people have issues with fucking race. I get it, but right. You didn't make it a thing. So fuck this dumbass movie. It's just a 0 out of 5. I don't like it.
Not even a 1.
No,
that's funny. That's funny. Okay, Micah, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd give it a 1.
Too high.
I think I understand what this movie is trying to do, but it doesn't do it. And then I think what I guess it was trying to do, it kind of doesn't have the balls to actually go through with it. Like, I would think that the A story would be about like race and the talking about it, right? And
yeah, not the love story.
And right, and the B story would be the love story, but the love story takes priority. And it's not a good love story. It's not a good love story. It's a romantic comedy that's not funny at all. I don't know if I'm getting old and my sense of humor is just being like I'm just incredibly like old, mad, bitter, and what I find funny is just like more pain. But like, this guy didn't suffer.
Yes.
This guy didn't suffer, yo. Wow. This guy didn't suffer. This guy is this guy has nothing to within this movie. This guy has nothing to.
Art sucks. He sucks. Fuck this movie.
He's a terrible character. You're right. He's a terrible character. He's a god-awful character. He's a whiny, punk-ass bitch. And he just, like, he's got a real punchable face, man. And look, I don't know if it's the guy, right? Like, I guess the guy is fine. But, like, this character is just awful. This character just doesn't, like... He's incredibly naive and he's just a bad character, yo. He's just a bad character. I don't like him. And then the whole Magical Negro part, like,
Didn't like it.
I didn't like it at all. And
why was one of them niggas a farmhand? Again, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Why was one of them niggas like a farmhand? Like he was in the fucking, like he was a sharecropper.
Like he's a sharecropper.
It really made me very upset. I'm like, what the fuck is 2024, nigga? Okay, I'm sorry.
Like the whole Magical Negro part, right? The thing that brings you to the dance, right? The commentary on the Magical Negro. They try to do it, but like the whole point, if I was making this movie about the Magical Negroes, right? Like the whole point of the movie would be we don't need this society. It's not our responsibility to make white people comfortable. This is dumb. And the movie tries to talk about that a little bit, maybe, I guess. But like the society is still there at the end of the movie, right? Mm-hmm. And they even have another society in the stinger where it's where it's the women who are supportive. Yo, fuck this movie, yo. Fuck this movie, man. Like, I understand I think I understand what it's trying to do. It just really decided that it didn't want to do it. It didn't have the balls to do it, to talk about this shit. And it made me mad, you know? Like, I literally watched 20 minutes of this movie and I had to take a fucking break. I couldn't get with it, yo. I gotta take it. This is annoying, man. This movie's annoying. This movie's real annoying.
All right.
What happened at the 20-minute mark?
This nigga's name is Aren, spelled Aren.
Really?
Fuck you. Yes.
I didn't know that.
It's Aren. Aren.
Aren. Shut up.
Okay. Well, here are my thoughts on the movie. I liked it. I definitely liked it more than Terrence did. And I liked it slightly more than Micah did. And here's why. My biggest issue with this movie is that, well, one, I've never seen a movie where people are in support of a movie because of the idea of it, like the name, and it's like, oh, magical black people is like some Harry Potter shit. I've never seen a crowd turn more on a movie from trailer 1 to trailer 2 in my entire life. When they were like, oh, it's a romantic story, I was like, oh, that's not good. And everyone's like, fuck this movie before it even came out. So that did the movie a huge disservice, right? But here's my biggest criticism of the film. And I have a lot of them. But my biggest one is this didn't need to have the American Society of Magical Negroes thing in it at all. It actually does damage to what I think is a fine movie, right? If the movie was just a bargain basement romantic comedy that had this level of trying to deal with this kid who doesn't want to address race, right? And he has to grow up, right? Because at the end of the movie, the reason why I think the both of you hate him, and it makes total sense, is he doesn't have his come to blackness moment until the very end of the movie. And every black person before that who's like, I don't think the world's that bad, is fucking annoying to a 45-year-old black man because we've all gone through it. And you're like, how are you not seeing this shit, right? So I think that is the reason why he's so annoying. It's aggravating. You're like, dude, it's right there, right? But he doesn't see it. The Magical Negro part of the story, one, you're right, it's the B story, which is weird, right? Like, why'd you even call the movie that? It's fucking strange. But it doesn't need to be there. You could have easily told this same story, make David Alan Grier his dad. It's not that hard. Just make him his dad and be like, hey, you seem wayward and you're not dealing with this shit and you seem like you're scared of white people. I'm not scared of white people. And your dad's just constantly pointing out because your dad's a black ass dude and he's trying to get you to move along in the story. So you don't need. Make sense. No, but hold on a second.
In the context of it, okay.
But you don't need any of this magical stuff because constantly when the movie is decent and competent in some parts of the storytelling, you're then thrown back into this Nicole Byer as the fucking Wizard of Oz bullshit and like, oh, black people got it. Yeah, make sure you, hey there, boss, and all that other bullshit. And so you're immediately thrown out of the decent part of the story and you're like, oh, right, this dumb shit is still going on. And it's constantly black people debasing themselves throughout this, again, bargain basement romantic comedy, right? like I think there is a decent movie here, like on the page. It doesn't show up in the movie because it's so buried in such dumb bullshit. The fact that there's one line that points out that Lizzie, the girl in the story, is half a person of color. There's one line about it. You don't even know that. I didn't know that from a trailer. I didn't know that from anything except for the white guy goes, well, she came at me and like, I didn't know she was a person of color. That's the only line about it. It's nothing.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're too busy paying attention to the dude dressed as a fucking farmhand from 1492. It's ridiculous. But like, there is something to be said about the fact that she's biracial, the fact that he's biracial, and them trying to deal with that world. And then like, she's clearly not seen as a person of color by Jason, right? The white dude, and nobody else acknowledges. She's also seen shittily as a woman and all this other stuff, which are very obvious points that they make. But none of that comes through because it's so mired in this nonsense of like, black people have magic and they can't wait to, Bagger Vance their way through the end of the story. It's fucking
They can't wait to caress the balls of a white man.
Right.
What the fuck was that? What was that?
I think that's from The Green Mile. Didn't do that in The Green Mile? Some shit like that.
I don't know if he did it in The Green Mile, but there's certainly a reference to The Green Mile in this movie, right? And so, like, to me, my biggest criticism is you didn't need the premise. Like, you should have worked on the core story and just made that movie. Every time I'm watching a movie and then they like zap him back to the fucking society, I'm like, right, I hate this part. I hate all of it. I don't like any of the Magical Negro shit. It's so stupid. It's just
also,
you didn't have, and you're absolutely right. They didn't have the balls to make that the A story and really dig at that topic. They didn't have the balls to do it. So don't
what's insult? You know what's insult to injury to your point of them not even needing the magical society thing? They didn't do no magic shit. They ain't do no magic shit, yo.
Not really.
They ain't do no magic shit.
They just teleported a couple times and like made a laptop appear.
You made a computer appear. All right.
Wow. You nailed it, bro. got a loser shit into a club. Congratulations.
Like, come on, yo. Like, this was whack, yo. This was a.
It is exactly what I texted you. This is a prime example of concept versus execution. Somebody was like, or I guess the writer-director was like, I nailed this idea. I got a great fucking idea. Someone was like, yeah, it's a great idea. And then when he went to write it and actually film it, it was like, no, you don't need any of this. Like there are a number of things that they try to do like message on, but it's so undercut by the nonsensical framework that the movie is built inside of. Yeah, I if anything, I absolutely hated that it's called this. I hate that it has magical black people in it at all because it does nothing to help the movie at all. Nothing. It doesn't have a creative way of doing it. Nothing.
The people in that society, like 3 of them learn a lesson. 3 of them. But the society is still there. Right. So is the audience meant to believe that this society is still like, and they try to justify having the Society of Magical Negroes, right? Like David Alan Grier his character tries to justify it by saying, well, we have to be there because we save lives. And that it is not our responsibility to placate white people. It's just not.
No, obviously. I think, to me, this is the part that pisses me off because you're 100% correct. And the movie should have said, you know what? You're right. We shouldn't do that. That should be the pushback. But they kind of barely don't.
They try to at the very, very end, like you mentioned, but you need to have that same speech to the Magical Society of Magical Negroes too.
That's
because
technically he did because they were listening.
Nah, that's a cop out. That's a cop out. That's a fucking cop out. You can't. No, you got that. Like, this character is a coward. This character has been a coward throughout the entire movie, and then in one 10-minute thing at the end, he fucking grows a pair of balls. He grew one ball, and he would have grew the other one if he went back to that magical society and said, "Yo, this is a bunch of fucking bullshit. it's not my job to cater to white people. It's their job to not be fucking
Right, to grow up.
yeah, it's their job to not be fucking soft.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you should have this black character. I mean, that's 100% correct. You should have that black character not only addressing how he's feeling as a human being, right? Like to this white guy, but you should also have him knocking down the system by which he was by which the society is benefiting from, right? It doesn't do anything to correct one guy. It does a much better, like even just in movies, a speech to one person isn't nearly as powerful as a speech to a crowd. It's just not, right? Like you're supposed to push back on this structure and say, this is fundamentally wrong. And like at the end, it should have been, he breaks up that society. Like those people, he gives his grand speech and the society's like, you know what? All these black people are like, you know what? You're fucking right. Like we should be telling these white people off. This is some bullshit. David Alan Grier should feel horrible about bringing this kid in and then feel inspired to try to see that woman that he lost, right? He maybe at the end, instead of doing the like, here's a woman society for fucking propping up shitty dudes, maybe what you should have done as a stinger, he sees that black woman and she's like, oh my God, hey, how are you? Fucking David Alan Grier. He's like, oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm divorced. And then that's his moment to be like, I'm going to go and go for what I lost, right? Because that is the point, is that black people lose so much by debasing themselves for white people. You know what I mean? It's just,
and I would have thought that as a biracial character, right? As a biracial actor, as a biracial character, who says that he is biracial in the movie, I figured that would be prime, right? Because like, look, right. I'm not a half breed, okay? I don't know what y'all. I don't know what kind of issues y'all got. I'm just playing. I'm a dumb nigga. Okay, I'm a dumb nigga. All right. Yeah, you a half breed, I'm a dumb nigga. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm just playing. But look, I don't know. I'm not biracial. And I don't know what kind of that affects people, right? Like because biracial people who identify as black, they are some of the most militant people ever I've ever seen, right? Like because they got a huge black chip on their shoulder and they dare you to knock it off, right? Mm-hmm. And I would have thought that this character in particular, who gets all this stuff just throughout the movie, is just bombarded with his microaggressions and in some cases macroaggressions. That I figured he would have exploded on everybody. And like to your point, right? But he doesn't. He just this ain't it, man. This ain't it. And the whole Magical Negro thing is such an interesting premise that it just you fail. You failed.
Yeah. No, I just, there's nothing more bothersome to me than the fact that you put all of this shit in and you didn't have the balls to go for it. Like, you didn't have the balls to go for it. Because you know what would have been actually really great is taking this story completely away. And you said, okay, this is the American Society of Magical Negroes. You could do a movie where you had different factions of magical Negroes, right? You got the punk ass, the basing ones are like, but we don't want to make white people mad. You got the militant ones. Like you could have had a whole situation where they're like fucking with American society and fucking with black people and white people, trying to get them to do the things that they want them to do. You could have that conversation where it's like almost like puppet masters across this world. That would actually be interesting. That would be a thing of like, oh, you could use the magic as like allegories, and people may fucking finally get, make the subtext the text type of shit. But they didn't. All they did was like, why don't we just have black people tap dancing for white people for an hour and 45 minutes? Jay and Micah and Terrence will love it. Turns out, not so much. It's just,
you're right. They could have had.
It's a waste of an idea.
you're right, because there's a certain like group of us who want black supremacy, right? Like they don't want like to be treated equally. They want a role reversal, right? They want 400 years the other way.
I mean, every once in a while,
right?
Exactly.
I get it.
Perfectly.
Right.
Perfectly fine.
I get it. But this could have been, and they could, like you said, they could have been fucking with white people, right? And like, because look, you give Terrence this kind of magical power, I guarantee goddamn to you, he ain't.
I'm making niggas trip left and right,
right?
Just because,
right?
Making white people trip over their own feet all day, every day, and laugh. Fuck, just because
my lace is tied together. Don't worry about it.
Like, you can't do that. I'm like, can I? Like, I'm using the magic. And then the whole thing, like, if you don't use the magic, or if you like fall in love with somebody, or if you fail, like the entire league or whatever the fuck they're called loses all their magic or loses some of their magic. Like,
yeah, basically, if you decide to not debase yourself in the proper fashion, all black people suffer. What kind of message is that?
Fuck you.
Like,
again,
it's a terrible again, what that is trying to say in my headcanon, what that is trying to comment on is like, I don't know about y'all, but whenever I hear a news story of, somebody shot up a mall or whatever, the first thing I think of is, please don't be black.
Yep,
because when shit like that happens, we all kind of get it, right? But this doesn't. One, the movie doesn't like project that. That's me pulling a 1960s Robin trying to solve a riddle out of my ass, right? Like, because the movie doesn't really go into stuff like that, and it just, I don't know, man. Look, I don't need to be spoon fed, but like, you got to show me the food, yo. Like, come on, yo. Jesus.
Yeah, that whole thing of like the magic dies if one of us gets out of line type of shit. That read to me sort of, if you're, we're all in this together type of idea, right? United we stand, divided we fall kind of thing. But again, you can make that point, but when you make that point in the context of the Magical Negro thing, it's basically just saying, if we don't all debase ourselves, we're going to find ourselves in trouble. I don't like that message as a black person. It bothers the shit out of me. And again, time and time again, if you took the Magical Negro debasement aspect out of this movie, the points they make are fine. But when you put it in, you're like, oh, right. Y'all want, I don't like that. Right? Like, it's, stop, don't do this. Somebody who is like, just don't do this. Somebody who has, I think, the balls to make an interesting movie, make a Magical Negro movie with wizards attacking each other and using human beings as their pawns. That's a way more interesting movie. I would watch the shit out of that. But no.
Like, Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's what it should have been. That's what it should have been. It should have been a black Harry Potter movie. And that's why people were super excited when the trailer first hit, and then the second trailer came out, and they were like, what is this bullshit? That's exactly why. That's exactly why.
Look, I know y'all didn't really care for it. Sorry to bother you, but if Bruce Riley did this movie, it would have been 10 times. It would be what we want.
Oh, he would have had the balls to do it. I'll give you that. He'd have had the balls to do it.
He'd have had the balls to do it, and I probably wouldn't have watched it because I have never watched Harry Potter. So there you go.
Like those movies.
And like, sorry to bother you. I don't. I'll take your word. I still haven't watched I'm a Virgo because he did it, and I'm like, I feel like it might be good, but like,
yeah, that's kind of where I am.
Silliness.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I give the guy a lot of credit. He's got the balls to. He's got a message. He's gonna fucking say that shit. So
no, I give him credit for that. I just am not a fan of his style of shenanigans.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, ridiculous satire. All right, so let's get into the movie. All right, Aren, a young artist, is at a sort of a gallery show that he's got some artwork at. He has a need to constantly make himself small by apologizing to white people at every turn. even letting an art buyer confuse him for a waiter. I mean, this is kind of like, here's who the character is, kind of set up, and yeah, you're like, oh, this guy is just a giant punk, like he just is.
Okay, all right. So his name is Aren Bondo with an M. Is he supposed to be like African?
Yeah,
Also,
maybe. I don't know. Maybe he's got an African dad.
is this like his father African and his mother white? Is this like a Barack Obama type situation? Is that what we're doing? I didn't realize his last name was Bondo with an M. It makes me even angrier.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got like a Wakanda.
Fuck this movie. MBONDO with an M. Bondo.
Okay, no apostrophe. Okay, all right. So he's still from America. Yeah, maybe it's you got me.
Negative 0.5.
Wow.
Now fuck you. Yo. You don't get to do that. They purposely put his name. They purposely showed his full name to say, oh, he might be like mixed with, like, of course he's black and white, but like maybe African. Because Bondo is not exactly the most American name in the world with an M at the beginning of it.
Yeah, certainly not one that I would assume.
Like, fuck off. Okay.
So the entire time he's at this gallery showing, there is a guy kind of looking at him. This guy Roger, who's the bartender, played by David Alan Grier, who is unbelievably wasted in this movie, by the way.
Yes. He didn't even look like he wanted to be in this fucking movie.
No,
he didn't look like he wanted to be.
Did you see him? Did you see David Alan Grier during the doing press for this movie?
Oh no!
It was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen anybody do, because he knew what movie he was in, and he's there. And when people saw that second trailer and like you said, it was like, wait, what, huh? What is this? Then he's like, well, you gotta, there's a movie in there, you gotta watch it.
I would have hoped so.
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. Coming from David Alan Grier.
Okay.
And look, I think David Alan Grier is a wonderful actor. He's Juilliard trained, but he wasn't that good to make me believe that he wanted people to actually go and see this fucking movie.
That's hilarious. Yeah, just unbelievably wasted in this movie. Again, he could have just been the character's father. Like, that's it. Didn't even need any magic.
But if it was his father, like, I guess there would have been a different movie if had he been his father. Because, like, how are you just fucking timid around white people and David Alan Grier is your father?
No, you could even you could just say that his parents were divorced, right? And
he came back into his life, right?
Came back into his life, like whatever. Like
that's
yeah. Look, I know that's some stereotypical black shit, but again, this movie, so Like,
I get it. Like, stop trying to give this movie credit for anything. Don't fix this nigga's movie. Don't do that. He doesn't deserve it. Fuck this nigga.
And look, I get
like no.
I get that this character is, they've mistaken for the waiter and all that, right? Like, they're setting the bar really low for this guy to have a character arc, right? Like, I've seen movies before, right? I know what basic character arcs are. But this is not, no, I don't know anybody at any age that would be like, oh, here, boy, here's my, no.
Disagree.
Exactly. Wait,
I 1000% disagree. You are speaking from a perspective of an old nigga. No,
look, that's
no. I think there are absolutely people who are born and bred in this shit that they are so unbelievably. Oh, sorry about that. Like all that shit. I think especially if you're talking about like a young artist trying to get somebody to buy his artwork, and this person is like, he's not just some white guy. Though he is, like, the guy that mistakes it for a waiter is like an art buyer. So there's like a position of power also. I think he'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I think,
oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I'll take your plate for you, boss.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's right.
Like,
I'm not saying I'd do it. I'm just saying
I
don't think it's, sadly, I don't think it's that crazy.
At 27?
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I hear you. But
it couldn't be me, not at 27.
It would have been me at fucking 16. Fuck you, nigga. Look at that on it.
Take this plate.
No, I'm not the waiter.
Where? You take it. Yeah, I'm just saying. Sadly, I don't think it's.
I clearly live in a bubble. I don't know nobody like that.
No, not you. Of course
Ain't
not.
no way in hell. They'd be like, here. I'm like,
What?
I'm not the fucking. What are you talking about? Like, I'm not the waiter. And he doesn't correct him. He's like, oh wait, I'm not. Oh, okay.
No,
right, like I'm not saying you got to be a dickhead. I'm not saying you got to be like. I'm not saying this got to be when keeping it real goes wrong.
No, you ain't got to throw the drink back in his face. Like, I'm not the waiter.
Like, no, I'm not the waiter. I'm actually the artist. Come see my work. I want to talk to you about it. Like, I get not wanting to talk to people, right? Like, I am an actual introvert, but I'm also a human being, yo. I'm a man, for God's sakes. What the fuck?
I would, and this is, you guys call me the mean one. I would solely see that opportunity as an, like, not to necessarily be rude, but to only make that white person feel incredibly guilty. No, I'm not a waiter. Why would you think that? And they'd be like, and then they're like fumbling. Yeah, that's my goal. It wouldn't even be like me standing up for myself. It's solely to get the embarrassment from that. Like I get powered by that. Like that would be awesome. I hope for opportunities like that in life.
That doesn't happen to me too much. I think
they scared of you, nigga.
A different air about me that they don't like. But people come up to me and start telling me their whole fucking life stories from something. I'm like, the fuck? Like, okay.
They're trying to make you the magical Negro, and you are like, no. Get the fuck away from me.
You refuse to put on the Bagger Vance hat.
Yeah, I'm not fucking
the old selfish ass. Like, get out of here. Help this golfer get this putt in. Help him. So Aren leaves the gallery after the gallery owner tells him that she is canceling his solo show because he couldn't even speak up for himself. The white woman is telling you need to speak up for yourself. That's something. I guess
and again, his art is trash. This nigga got like yarn hanging over. It's yarn hanging over a fishing line. What is that? What is that?
I don't know.
What is
did it not invoke?
That's why he didn't.
Did it not invoke anything in you?
He didn't invoke calm like he said later on in the fucking movie. I was like, nigga, shut up. Like,
look,
no.
Artists are interesting people. Okay.
I look. You're the expert. I'll take your word for it.
I love her to death, but she's got a lot of weirdo friends. So anyway, so after that, he walks outside. He goes to use the ATM, and he has this run-in with this this white chick, and she's like, "I'm drunk. Can you help me with the ATM?" No.
Run, get the fuck out of here.
Run away.
Like, absolutely not. No.
Look. Let me not
money
let
out
me
of
not,
the ATM machine. Are you
let
fucking
me not,
kidding me?
Look. Let me not lie on the internet. I would help her. I'm not touching your card. I'm not touching your purse. My number is. I don't want to know. You see what he did? You're not really.
Yeah, he was like, I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Nope. I'd be like, I don't need to know that. I'd be like, press that button over there. Like, I'm not touching you, yo. Get out of here. No, a drunk white woman in America at night. I want to see tomorrow. Get out of here. No, absolutely.
Why the fuck was that ATM just in the middle of an alleyway?
Because it was in the script. That's it. Someone wrote it down on a cocktail napkin. Who knows?
Right. You trying to tell me Anthony Anderson didn't come with a pickup truck to try and snatch that bitch off the wall?
Right.
No, wasn't it a fucking a snowplow on like a Geo
I think so,
or some shit like that?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
So she's like, "Yeah, can you help me? Oh my God, I need help." And so his stupid ass is like, "Yeah, I guess." And then she said, it doesn't, like, the scene actually doesn't make any sense because she's, I don't know, 12 feet from her boyfriend and his friend, but she's asking this black dude to help her with the ATM. I'm like, what the fuck are you asking me? Ask these white boys. And so she's like, I can't find my card. And he's like, your card's in the ATM, you fucking moron. And she's like, where's my purse? Oh my God. And And she starts like yelling to her boyfriend, "I can't find my purse." And they just start running towards Aren because they just assume that he stole it. Yes, when people normally rob people, they're wearing like a half knitted sweater, standing still to let you run over and punch them in the face. It's not really how a robbery works, but okay. So they run up on him, like they're going to beat him up because racism. And out of the shadows, a magical Negro appears, one David Alan Grier, named Roger. And he's like, "Hey, did anybody drop an earring?" Like, "Oh, let me defuse the situation." And he does, and he magically makes her purse leave Aren's hand, who was holding it, into her hand, so that the boyfriend didn't think that Aren robbed her and also the dumb shit. And then he's like, "Well, there, boss, there sure is a good pulled pork barbecue place around the corner. Y'all should try it. They pull pork just like my grandma used to do." And I'm like, I want to stab everyone in this scene with a pen. All of you. It's irritating. And again, you can be helpful without debasing yourself. And at every opportunity, these characters debase themselves, which is very bothersome to me. And so the white people are like, "I love pork. I'm an idiot." And so they're like, "All right, no hard feelings, blacks." And then they walk off. And so Roger and Aren go get a drink at a bar. Cool. So they start to discuss like Aren's fear of being black. And he's like, "I don't live in fear. I mean, I just scared every time I go out of my house and hope that nothing bad happens to me." It's like, okay. Again.
This nigga look Puerto Rican, you know. He don't even look black. Like, I'm sorry, like, this really pisses me off.
He look like Anthony
Yes,
Ramos.
he does.
Yo. He looks like Anthony Ramos.
He does. You don't even look. I mean, fine, a person of color. You don't look. Nah, yo, they picked the worst fucking person to be the main.
No,
guy.
I think
sorry.
The point of them choosing him is exactly.
Yeah, no, I understand. He's mixed, but like again, he looks Puerto Rican, so it doesn't count. Sorry.
Well,
-1.
Wow. How low is Terrence's score going to get before we finish?
Like, I really do not like this movie. You know?
And you said that you dislike Green Book more than this. Is that correct?
I'm starting to believe I don't. I'm starting to think I don't. You know? The biggest reason why I hate Green Book is because it won a fucking Oscar for Best Picture. It didn't deserve it.
You don't think this? You don't think this deserves a nomination?
I will leave this fucking episode right now. Don't do that.
Like, yo, if it got nominated, that would be fucking wild. They're like, Best Picture. Excuse me.
Fucking the American Negro League of Niggas or whatever. I have half the time I forget the name of the movie. You know? I keep wanting to say like the National Society of Magical. It's an American society, and there's only one chapter apparently in California. But okay,
cool.
So
they're having a drink, and then Roger teleports him and Aren over to, of course, a black barbershop where all the magic happens, and he introduces him into the American Society of Magical Negroes, and then he basically says, like, "Look, this is what we do. We are there to make sure that white discomfort is never gets out of hand, because if it does, then black people will end up killing, white people will end up killing black people, right? So it's a safety issue, and they're doing this debasement for white people, and to save black people." Here's the problem with that line. I mean, on its face, it's obviously very stupid, but in the logic of the movie, what you're saying is you debase yourselves to keep white people from like freaking out and killing other black people. But doesn't that just reinforce the idea that black people have to debase themselves? So thus white people just see that every black person has to debase themselves for their own white comfort, thus making life for black people exponentially harder. It actually does not help.
Right. Also, let's pretend that they're right? And that you have to debase yourself, otherwise you might die. I don't have to do that for a fucking tech bro who works at Meatface or whatever, right? That dude is not gonna fucking kill me. Like, He can't do nothing to me.
What if he got really sad?
That's and that's another point that I was going to bring up. What was the point of him being his fucking client? He was sad one day, and his tears were like,
client. This movie can't even say white people. Client. What the fuck? Like, no, the white people, yo. White people.
Just
client.
Him,
you're assigned your first white, right? Yeah. You assigned your first white. Get out of here. Like, it's... So I don't like the idea of the society in and of itself furthers the struggle of black people. It doesn't eradicate it or work to eradicate it, right? Their idea is, well, black people will otherwise die. But that's not all debasement prevents. Like you said, Jason, the white guy in this movie that is, it's one of the sort of quote unquote main characters, he's not a violent character. So it actually doesn't make any sense. It would make more sense if the cop that they deal with in the beginning, the guy from the Righteous Gemstones, that actor is hilarious. It would have made sense if that guy was their focus, if that was his client, right? Like someone that carries a weapon around all the time. But they deal with him for 2 seconds and then they move on to a guy who works at this Facebook clone. It doesn't actually make sense. So they show like all these magical Negroes through time, and they like, notice how he helps this guy with his, shooting pool or the Green Mile thing and all these other sort of tropes about it. We
this
also
is supposed to be the comedy, right?
Yeah, I
Did you
think
giggle?
I heard somebody chuckle. It wasn't me. Or anyone
I
in
giggled
my
more.
household.
I laughed more at Unfrosted, and I didn't laugh at Unfrosted.
Oh, damn. Sad. So then there's a quote in the movie that I thought was really annoying. It says, they're required to only show parts of themselves that makes white people, quote, feel good and nothing else. Again, if your society is solely there to make sure that white people feel good and see nothing else of black people, that is their sole vocation, if that is the case, doesn't that mean that is how they think all black people should act? That you never get to see anything of these non-magical black people? They are just there for their feelings.
Right. You set a certain expectation for all of us, right? Like, and you understand that because you're
actively doing it.
You're actively doing it, and if you don't, all the people in the society lose their power, right? Like, so you understand the whole we're all in this together thing for that, but not for the fact that if you are debasing yourself, then white people are going to think all black people need to be this way. Like, the magical Negro is a harmful stereotype, and that's what this movie should be commenting on. It should be commenting on the fact that this is not, that we don't need to do this, and the movie fails. It just, this movie is up there with Antebellum for me for the fucking shenanigans. I don't.
How did they forget they were slaves yesterday, yo? How did they like? I still don't understand that. Why would they have forgotten?
This movie might be worse because like the Antebellum was done by a black guy and a white guy, and this was done by an amalgamation of both. And this is not like this. And this is very funny. This is really fucking annoying, man. This is really fucking annoying.
I'm actually, you know what?
So is it still a 1?
Nah, yo, it's a 0. It's a 0. I'm catching up to you, yo. We're gonna see how low we can go.
How low are you gonna go, Jay? The more you talk about it, I think I started at. There's a movie in here.
No. I started at a 2. I'm starting at a 2.
1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1.5. Like, because like this exact point is really bothersome to me. Is you are literally setting like you said, you're setting the baseline for how all white people see black people, and you're constantly reinforcing it. And to Micah's point as well, like you can understand we got to all stick together on the magic part, but that doesn't translate to all black people across the United States. That doesn't make sense. You're failing on the logic inside your own movie. Like, again, you didn't need any of the Magical Negro shit. Like, you didn't need any of it. It actually does 100% harm to the entire bit of storytelling. 100%, bar none. There is nothing positive about it. Nothing. And I cannot believe that we have not received a black Harry Potter universe movie. It seems so fucking obvious at this point. What a waste. So they like leave the Magic Society and they're like, oh, Roger takes them out of this fucking building and they're in Monticello in Virginia, right? Which is of course, where Thomas Jefferson's, famous plantation is. Again, they don't have the balls to say what Monticello is. They just go, Monticello.
I was like, what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the fucking point?
Because what you should have said.
I knew what the point was, but what was the point?
I can't answer that because why didn't you address it? Like, oh shit, we're at Monticello. Why are we here? Well, we've had horrible situations. Like, talk about, Thomas Jefferson, raping and, raping young black girls and having, kids with these women, right? And keeping his own children in slavery. Why are you afraid to say it? These are historical facts. Facts, in fact, do not care about your feelings. I heard an asshole say that once. So, you could have addressed it. But you're too much of a chicken shit to address it. And that bothers me. Roger says that their work does more than 100 marches.
I was like,
I found that offensive. I found that offensive.
Yeah, me too.
All right, we're at a 1.
I
found that line I found it deeply offensive.
He wrote that, I feel like when he wrote that line, the director actually feels that way. That's why I was like, nigga, fuck you, dog. Because again, this is a movie, but you still wrote that. Why did you write that? That seems kind of fucked up. We shouldn't be out here protesting, guys. Nigga,
or that you just don't see them nearly as effective as making.
Yeah, you don't think they're important. Like,
yeah. Like, I know that line offended me, even in hindsight, because I wrote it down. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I did not care for that. Yeah, I was like, that line really rubbed me the wrong way. It really did.
Could you imagine?
So tap dancing to white folks is better than fucking actual protest when they do some foul shit. That's what he said.
When it comes to the safety of black people. But here's the thing: we should be willing to again, it's a deeply offensive line. Black people literally died marching to fight against the idea that we have to make white people comfortable with treating us like dog shit. So, this does more than 100 marches. Black people literally fought and died. To the contrary of your statement.
Could you imagine if this movie was like The Spook Who Sat by the Door, but with wizards and shit?
Boy.
Right? And this dude was like Dan Freeman and shit. Man, that'd be pretty fucking dope, right? That'd be pretty fucking dope.
Don't steal our ideas. Don't steal our ideas.
I need whatever Harry Potter universe for black people. I need it to be the Dan Freeman. I need the main character to be named Dan Freeman. Specifically after and right, Dan Freeman and the Goblet of White Tears. You know what I'm saying? I need some shit like that.
That's fine. I'd be there for first day. But again, there's such a missed opportunity to make a movie that actually had the balls to address these things. And wizards. Again, another line that really bothered me. Roger says that the society is, quote, the vanguard of white relaxation. And again,
that's when I took a break. I was like,
that's a really look. I'm going to be mad, but I'm also going to say something else. That line made me really angry, but it's like a well-written line. I was like, it's a well-written line, but fuck you, dude. But fuck you. Like, it's like, but it is a very good line, right? The vanguard of white relaxation. And it's just that idea is so fucking irritating to me. Like,
and again, I feel like because there's going to be one person that defends this movie in these comments below, right? And I get it, right? I get it, right? Like you don't get it, right? Like the movie is saying all this, and certain people feel this way, like legitimately. But the point of the movie should be that we don't need this society. Like this society is fucked up. Like because actual society is fucked up. Like there is no lesson here. Like you get a couple of scenes at the end where the magical Negroes are telling white people what their white clients what they think about them, but they didn't renounce that shit. Hey, I don't want to be a part of this because I'm tired of fucking debasing myself. I'm tired of having to genuflect and kowtow to for the right to exist.
Right.
Like his speech at the end tries to do it, but
He didn't earn it.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
It comes way too late. It comes way too late.
And yeah, as I'm looking at this scene with this cop, yeah, the cop should have been the guy. You're right. The cop should have been the guy.
That would have been the ballsy, by the way. That would have been the ballsy.
Right. You're absolutely right. The cop should have been the mark that they have to fucking change the mind of. God, this movie's fucking bad, yo. -1. -1, yo. I can't. As like I was softer on this movie when the right after I watched it, but like nah, man. Like thinking about it and talking about it, nah.
Yeah, y'all making me hate it even more than I already did, you know. And I didn't like this shit at all. Like for real, I was just like mad. He also says something. He says for some of us, the last thing we see is an angry white man. And he says, I don't blame the white man for that. I blame their discomfort. I was like, what are we talking about, yo? Like, come on, man. You can't say shit like that and make me and think that like that's cool. And you make me think, oh, that's a good line.
All right,
this is a great movie,
now.
guys.
I'm down to 1. I'm down to 1.
Like, why is it our fault? Why is it our fault? Are you making everything that...
Now, in fairness, I don't think that he's actually saying that it's our fault. He's just saying because that's the whole idea of like discomfort is the problem. However, when you're saying that, what you're saying is that white people are giant babies and they can't deal with anything. Because... yes, on one aspect, it should be addressing that black people shouldn't have to do this, right? That is the obvious thing that it should be addressing. But the also thing it should be addressing is white people need to grow the entire fuck up, right? And there should, like, what have actually been kind of cool is, again, like, you really skimped out on the magic because you could have done some cool shit. What would have actually been cool is if it turns out there was another society, there already is a second one, but a third society that's like the society of like white men, like white men trying to do better or some bullshit like that. And you get like the head of the black people going to the head of the white people and be like, hey, yo, y'all need to learn how to grow the fuck up. And you're like, yeah, we got to work on that. Like, yeah, y'all been slacking for a long time. Y'all been sitting on your asses playing hacky sack all day when you should have been out there, making white people understand that they needed to grow up. Y'all haven't done jack shit since y'all got here on the boats, right? And be like, yeah, and like force white people to deal with their lack of responsibility in this. Their level of discomfort comes from keeping black people away from them, pushing them away from them, and then filling in their ignorance with hate and fear, right? Like that's where the discomfort comes from. It doesn't come from black people. It comes from their ignorance. So why don't you put that ignorance, put it on a big fucking plate and serve it to white people right up front? That would have been nice. But you didn't. Because you're a fucking coward. And you're too fucking scared to make the movie that you should have made. Plus, not enough magic.
I don't think he had the fucking wherewithal to make that movie. He thought he was doing something with this shit. He thought he was cooking with this motherfucking movie, and he failed.
Look, I'm telling you,
burnt the shit out that goddamn chicken.
Yeah, look, it should have been. It should have been like Ava DuVernay or Ryan Coogler or somebody who doesn't have a problem speaking on race. That's who should have done this movie. Somebody who's not, and I'm not trying to like be a total dick to the director, but you don't have the balls for this. You don't have the balls for this. Like, you don't. This could have been a movie where white people are like, I don't appreciate this movie. Black people are like, nailed it. Like, that's what this movie should have been.
You want to know what I thought? I guarantee he thought the name in itself was like, the Negro. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
I put Negro in the name of the movie. That was his fucking ball. That was the balls he had to do. And the rest of the movie was just like, I don't know. We got to make white people feel good.
Yeah.
Again, I understand the premise, but you failed miserably, dog. you fucking failed. You get an F.
Look. You know what's ironic is he's Aren. He's Aren. He has the balls to speak up. He has the balls to speak up a little bit. And look, Aren's speech is not bad, but it comes a little too late, right? You had the balls to speak up a little bit about the injustices that were done to you, right? Because keep in mind, when Aren gives his big speech, it is about him and how he feels, not even black people in society as a general. He doesn't. He only speaks to his small perspective. And I get it. You're supposed to like use him to extrapolate out, but it would have been much more powerful if he says, white people do this to black people. White people do X to black people. White people do X to, or, white men do X to women. And that's what could have been the speech. But he was too fucking scared.
And I would have liked the speech better if I actually liked him as a character. Like, I was like, at that point, I'm like,
or if you saw him
I didn't like him as a character.
Like, this is your fault.
Movie, man.
Yeah.
Right. He didn't like, he got a little bit more assertive, but he's still like, I don't believe anything that he felt throughout this entire, him growing up as a mixed kid. I don't think anything he felt had to do with him being black. I didn't get that from him until he said, like, oh, well, I have to feel good about I have to make white people feel good all the time. I'm like, no, you just a bitch, nigga. Like Micah said, like, you're just a bitch. You don't stand up for yourself regardless of who the fuck it is.
Yeah.
So I don't believe it's white people that's your fucking fault. And you had a white mother. She didn't tell you, like, don't have to worry about none of that shit. Yeah. Like, come on. I don't, that's why I just don't like his fucking character, though. Okay.
I'm about to justify me dropping it to a 0.5, okay? Like, the other thing that really bothers me. You're absolutely correct. Nothing about his experience seemingly deals with the fact that he's black, right? Like that when you find him here, there's no historical context, right?
No background, yeah.
Right. But here's what, like, okay, the movie starts, he's fucking 27 or whatever. So like maybe you don't want to go into the past. Okay. Right. But his fucking impetus for his come to blackness moment isn't even because of something that happened to black people. It is because a white guy is about to take the girl he likes. Like, I'm just thinking about how insane that is.
And he set the shit up.
Right. But like,
right.
Of course, like his impetus isn't like, hey, this society is telling me I got to debase myself. And you know what? I'm a strong black man. I don't have to do this shit. Nobody tells me, black people or white, but nobody tells me what the fuck to do. That's not his impetus. His impetus is, yo, bro, I'm about to do this presentation. And after that, I'm totally going to ask that girl out that you like. What up? Let's party after the presentation. He's like, wait a goddamn minute. And then he puts his fucking Huey P. Newton fucking hat on and he runs to save the day. That's bullshit. It should have been something to deal with his own blackness or black people in general. Right? Because he says the thing that I guess sort of pissed him off that has to do with race is, hey man, you're here like it's a diversity meeting. That's why you're here. That's not enough. It's not enough. That's a throwaway fucking line. It's a throwaway fucking line. Like, why would you use that as part of the impetus for him having that moment? You should have shown like the CEO of the company, Rupert Friend, who incidentally played Agent 47 in that terrible last movie. Like, he should have been, like, it should have been an obvious, like, super racist moment. Or, I don't know, here's how you write a fucking script. Have the CEO, right? He's getting ready to give this big presentation. He's never met you, all this shit. He comes to the office to give the presentation. And you know what you do? Hey, kid, go put my plate in the trash. Because he assumes you're a fucking waiter. Bring it back to the thing that you were a punk bitch about in the beginning. Bring it full circle and be like, I'm actually not the waiter. Just because I'm black, that's not the reason, asshole. I work here. And I'm the part of this fucking presentation. That would have been a fucking thing to do. But instead, you're like, his girl was about to get taken. Fuck off. 0, my nigga. 0. Fuck that. 0. That really makes me mad, yo. That really.
Oh, shit.
All right.
So we're like 10 minutes into we're 20 minutes into the actual movie.
All right, they meet a white cop. They meet a white
cop. They make him feel good.
We're about to blaze it. I'm about to do a 300-word essay. Let's fucking go. They meet a white cop, and he's like, oh, he's just fucking sad, and his fucking douche meter is getting too high. He's getting a little too uncomfortable in life. So might have to shoot with somebody. Guess what color they're gonna be? And so they're like, hey, are you okay? Hey, Timmy, are you okay? And he's like, I just feel like I'm not cool anymore, and I couldn't get, I can't be cool, and I look like my dad. I'm sad, guys. And they're like, well, we're going to a nightclub. Would you like to come? That'll be cool. And he's like, yeah, that would be cool. Going with 2 black guys? Because, black people are really cool. Thanks. And so, like, this is literally what happens in the goddamn movie. All right. And so they take him to a nightclub, and I guess they perform some of their black boy magic, and somehow the bouncer's like, yeah, sure, you can get in the club. That's cool, great. And now he's got his confidence back, even though he's dressed like a fucking dork from 1993.
David Alan Grier at this point, Roger goes up, and because they're still having this thing where it's like, you're scared to talk to white people. And it's not like, and he's like, oh, you're not scared? Then go up and talk to one. Right. And I don't necessarily know what this was trying to do. Like, I don't like talking to people, but not because necessarily they're white. It's because I don't like talking to people. Right. Like, it's because like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there are people who are afraid to talk to white people. I don't know.
I don't like being in a group of white people.
Yeah, I don't like being in a group of them. But guess what? 100%. I don't like being in a group of anybody that don't look like me.
I don't like being in a group of niggas sometimes. I keep it 100.
White.
Look, I don't like being in a group of people I don't know. Like,
exactly.
Just put it there. Hey, come over here. I'd rather not. Why?
I'm not the life of the party. Fuck out of here.
No. Yeah, no, I get very uncomfortable being totally surrounded by strangers if they all know each other. It's one thing if you're at an event and everybody doesn't know it, or most people don't know each other. That's different because you're kind of all on equal footing. But then if it's still all white people, then I feel like we're still not on equal footing. So, yeah.
White discomfort is your nemesis, Aren. Stop running from it and listen to it. What the fuck does that mean?
Shouldn't it be confronted? Not listen to it. You don't listen to your nemesis. You confront your nemesis.
What the fuck? Yeah. -2, yo. This is dumb. This movie is real dumb, yo. Like, we haven't done this in a long time, yo. We haven't done let's see how low we can go in a long time. We haven't limboed a fucking movie in a good long while. And this is a prime example of a movie that needs to be limboed.
Look, if that has to become a part of the permanent black cinema lexicon, limboing a movie, that's fine. That's fine because it deserves it. It absolutely deserves it. Then we see a scene. Aren has a meet cute with Lizzie. And again, you wouldn't know it because Lizzie is white passing. And it all just appears to be like, here's this black dude hitting on this white woman. Her name, by the way, her real name is An-Li Bogan. So I thought she was fine in this movie. Like, again, everything's
She was trying, given the fucking
given what she's working with.
Yeah, she was the least offensive thing of this movie.
I find her probably to be the most interesting character.
And she was the only character that I felt bad for.
Yes.
But but she's the only character I gave a damn about, and I didn't give a damn about her that much because I know she's gonna get saddled with this fucking. I don't even call him a simp, yo. Like he just.
No, he wasn't a simp. He's
a coward. He's a fucking coward.
I don't know. I don't know.
Why the fuck did she? What did she see in this nigga? Through the whole why he didn't even earn that relationship.
No, you know what it is? He's a quirky character. I mean, this is a classic meet cute sort of situation. She's a bit quirky. He's a bit quirky. Everybody she works with quirky? Yeah, she has a quirkiness about her too. Just sort of like in her sort of personality, right? But they had this little meet cute. He goes to start this job to deal with his first client at what is this? Meat Box?
Meat Book.
Meat Box. Meat Book pause.
Sometimes you gotta save a person from themselves. So they do a little bit of magic here by making a computer appear so that he could sit next to Jason, his assigned white. This movie needed people like Roy Jones or what's the dude from The Daily Show?
Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah, Roy Wood Jr. Like you needed some black actors in here that were gonna just be kind of dicks and make fun of white people. Like that would have been great.
And help punch up the script.
Please. They really did. Why again? What was the point of him being his fucking client or his white man?
Just because he was sad.
I didn't get it.
General sad.
He didn't have to do anything for him, but it's to boost his confidence so he didn't shoot up the fucking meat book place. Was that the premise of this?
I don't know.
Because the majority of these niggas is white. I ain't got to worry about these motherfuckers. They white. Sorry.
Because that big ass speech, you're right. Because that big ass speech that Roger gives about how the magical Negroes are necessary to prevent white people from shooting everything up. This character shows no signs of that. This character shows no signs of it.
And through the whole movie, I'm like, why the fuck is he even? What is this thing? What?
Again,
signs of aggravation did he show where he might actually become a dangerous person?
Right.
He wasn't really that attracted to fucking what's in it anyway. That's the other thing. That's my work wife. They weren't necessarily into each other.
Right.
Yeah, you kind of shot yourself in the foot there, buddy. You shot yourself in the foot. You should have called dibs, right? Isn't that how men treat women? Just dibs, isn't it? She mine. I called it. So while he's at work talking to this his new white Jason, Lizzie walks in. He's like, "Oh shit, yo, remember me?" "Oh, that's crazy. I just started working here." And she's like, "Yeah, that's cool. I've been working here a while." And they have a fall up to their meet cute and everything is good. And you kind of find out that Lizzie and Jason are working on the same project. Side note, Jason dresses like an asshole. Anyway, why do you have on that terrible corporate fleece fucking vest over your fucking blue button-up shirt? You're a dork. So he's like, "Yeah, what's making you sad, bro? Are you okay?" And
also, did they just give this nigga a job?
Yeah,
has he always
the magic
worked
part?
there?
No,
that's the magic part.
Yeah.
But did he have a job before? Did he have a job before?
No, he was an artist. He was an artist.
But he said he had to buy $3,000 worth of yarn. With what?
Yeah, what does he work to get?
Look. If you really want to get frustrated,
minus 3.
But if you really want to understand how weird this logic, spoiler alert for this movie. Lizzie is a part of this other society, right? You kind of come to find out the stinger. It's so swag. Society of supportive
women and girlfriends.
Wives and girlfriends, right?
Yeah.
Or wives or girlfriends. Okay, so she's clearly in the society. Who was she assigned to? Was she assigned to Jason?
Who the fuck
Or was she assigned to
Maybe
Aren?
she was assigned to fucking Aren.
Right. And if that's the case, what the fuck sense does any of this movie make? And did she have a job before? When you have the magic, do you just become a programmer? Is that how it works? This magic is amazing. Just saying. I don't know that it follows. So they're all sitting around. I assume Aren knits all of his sweaters with all of his yarn that he has. They're all sitting around making Legos because that's what you do at one of these fancy Silicon Valley jobs. You don't do any real work. Must be nice. And they're discussing how great Aren is discussing how great Aren is, or Aren is discussing how great Lizzie is, and how amazing of a designer she is, and how the two of them work really good as a team. And Jason's like, that's a good point. I'll just store that one in my back pocket to fuck the plot up later. Cool, thanks. Hopefully, maybe I'll use that to make you realize you're black later. Thanks, appreciate it. So we see video of the CEO of this company, Meatbox.
Oh, before you continue,
go ahead.
Jason doesn't say that. Aren is like, "Hey, you guys would be good together."
Yeah, no, that's
Aren
what I'm saying. He speaks up for Lizzie. Yeah.
Oh, you said Jason.
He talks her up. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Aren is talking up
Aren.
Lizzie to Jason. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, nigga?
Like,
again, they don't look like they're actually interested in each other. But okay, cool. Continue. Sorry,
like you got a free path here. There's no one in your way. Why are you setting up defenders for the other team? That doesn't make any sense. A thing that I found to be annoying is that at a certain point they tell you that the society is literally funded by Nancy Green's money, aka Aunt Jemima. I didn't like that. I'm at a -5 at this point. Let's see.
They tried to put this whole the facial recognition doesn't fucking recognize black faces. Okay, why?
Wow, way to stay current. Way to stay current from fucking 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He probably wrote this shit 5 years ago.
Yeah,
it takes a while for movies to get made. So yeah, I was like, okay, what was the point of that? Oh, they're racist. It doesn't recognize black faces. I get it. You needed a something to spark the diversity higher or whatever. I get it. Fine. I'm not going to subtract any points for it. It's dumb.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And you didn't have a black person in there, right? Like, two of them. At a certain point, Roger and Aren are sitting on the roof of a building. I don't know if the magic just disallows white people from seeing them. It seems strange. And he just drops Roger just drops a piece of paper and it falls into this woman's box, who clearly just got fired, I guess, or quit her job. And it just says, "Live, laugh, love." And I chuckled at that. She just smiled. She was like, "Yeah, that's it." And I was like, it's that simple for white women. Just live, laugh, love. And
also, this movie just makes white people, again, I'm not white. I'm not here to tell you what you should be offended by, but maybe you should be offended by this movie because you all look like a bunch of fucking idiots. You all look like a bunch of fucking, you all come off as a bunch of 5 foot tall babies.
Yeah, very infantile. They treat white people very infantile.
But, whatever. I don't give a fuck.
That sounds like a you problem, white people. So Jason comes back Aren comes back to work, and Jason's like, "Hey man, I had an idea. Lizzie, she's awesome. Oh my God, you were right. Oh, she's so great." And I'd have been like, "Pump your brakes there, white man. I'm trying to see what's up with that."
No, but you couldn't say that because you already told this nigga, "Hey, you two would look good together."
Nah, fuck that.
That's his fault. Again, that's his fucking fault.
Let the society
What was
crumble.
the point?
Let the society crumble. I don't care.
Man, wouldn't it have been awesome? Wouldn't it have been awesome if this character was like, "Yo, this society is fucking whack, and it needs to end." And if I go after what I want, then this whole magical Negro bullshit wouldn't exist anymore. So I get to have my cake and eat it too. And he plots to take down the society by trying to get with this woman. And David Alan Grier is like, but no, we need the society. So he tries to stop Aren, and then there's some conflict.
Yes, that would have been cool.
I don't know, man. God.
Okay,
technically that's what happens at the end.
Nah. I'm not giving this movie any kind of credit, yo. I'm not.
I'm just saying that's what happened. That's all I'm saying. I'm just stating the obvious. I'm just stating the facts. That's what happened at the end.
To me, the ending of this movie, the society has not dissolved.
Oh, they haven't been. Again, I don't know. He failed, but they still have their magic, so I don't understand how it works. Whatever. Anyway,
right. The society exists, therefore that shit didn't happen. Nah. Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm in the process as we're going through the story. I'm just writing my own black magical people story. All right, I need a black male actor or a black female actress, who would be more of a neutral head wizard. Who's like trying to keep society together. And I say this out of the context of the badass revolutionary black wizard is played by Denzel Washington, who is trying to destroy this entire system of debasement and not allowing black people to be held to these chains anymore. He's a like, we got to fix this shit for good. The villain who is just, I'm going to use my powers to just kill white people, is played by Dr. Umar. And now I need someone.
That nigga's the Magneto of black people.
Yeah, he is. He's the Magneto of black people, right? He's Mag Negro or Black Netto, however you want to go with that, right? But now I need somebody who's like, we gotta just keep the status quo. We gotta, like, is that a Morgan Freeman? Just don't talk about race anymore. Like that. I feel like that would be him, right?
Kinda.
All right, there you go.
I feel like you could swap. I think you should. No, that wouldn't make. No, I think it could be either Denzel, as far as like the first character, Denzel, or Samuel L. Jackson would work.
Yeah. Okay. The both of those work.
I might go with Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what? Dr. Umar, perfect.
Inspired casting. I've never acted before.
Don't
worry. Just say whatever you normally say. No more snow bunnies.
It's cool.
Yeah, like it at a certain point, that's better than what we're getting here. So again, I will continue to work on the characters throughout this review. So Aren, for some reason, says like, "Hey, why don't I set up a triple date where me, Lizzie, and Jason, we go out for drinks, right? Because Jason wants to be like, hey, can you set it up? But like, I need you to be there because I'm surprisingly, I'm not as much of a punk as you, but when it comes to women, like I'm like you, Aren, I'm incapable of human interaction, right? And so Aren's like, cool, and then like I'll dip out, and then you guys go. It has never been more obvious in a scene where a woman has no interest in a man and complete interest in another guy than in this scene. She's just like, oh, Jason, that's cool. Anyway, I'm still talking to Aren. Right. But he's trying desperately to push Lizzie on to Jason. And then you come to find out that Jason worked on this project at work that didn't recognize black people's faces in the facial recognition software. And Aren is kind of pissed about it, right? He's like, yeah, that's cool that you just blew this off and didn't think it was important. And Lizzie she's sort of standing up, but not really, right? She's not really standing up for it. And she's just like, okay, let's just fucking move on. And it's kind of in the context of this movie, it's a kind of an uncomfortable scene. And so in the cab ride home with Aren, she kind of apologizes for not speaking up, right? And then you come to find out the very next day, Jason and Aren are talking, and Jason is like, I didn't know she wasn't a person of color. She came at me and was like, told me I was, like a real fucking piece of shit for what I said and was fucked up and all this other stuff. He's like, oh, look, you weren't offended, were you? I'm sorry about that. And it's to demonstrate, however poorly, that Lizzie is not just some white girl who will abide by the shit that Jason was saying, right? But again, if you miss the line, you don't even realize that she's not just white, that she's actually half Asian, right?
Oh, he said ethnic. Okay, I didn't. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, or not person of color, but he says I didn't know she was ethnic.
Yeah, I didn't catch that because I think my eyes were rolled in the back of my head.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's
trying to keep myself from swallowing my own tongue. I'm fucking watching this stupid fucking movie, but okay, I see it now. I'm looking at it now. It's reliving the nightmare
with subtitles on. I see what he's talking about. But yeah, so the point is that she's an ally, right? That's the entire point of that scene. Okay, fine.
Sure.
And again, I don't have a problem with this character. I don't. I have a problem with how the characters are written. Like that's specifically terribly. And so then we get this whole idea that Lizzie's boss comes to her and she's like, look, I think you're really great and blah, blah, blah. I'm a woman. You're a woman. We're all in it together. But your work that you've done on this big project, we're going to let a white man present it as his own, not you, because he presents better to the probably white, racist, sexist CEO. So, no big deal. And Lizzie gets obviously pissed. She walks out of the building. She sees Aren. She ends up mistakenly dropping all her stuff. He sees that she has this ring that says "So Swag" on it, and he kind of makes fun of her about it. More on that later. And she's like, "Yeah, I know, it's stupid." And so she's like, "All right, I'm gonna go." And he's like, "Why don't we just go for a walk?" And she's like, "I'm not really feeling fun right now." And he's like, "All right, but maybe I can just walk with you and talk." And she's like, "All right." And they do an unfun walk, they call it. And look, I have seen many, many, many romantic comedies, and this is a trope, right? This is like Aaron Sorkin's walk and talk, so to speak, right? This is a trope within the genre. They walk, they get to know each other like human beings, and they have a moment, right? They almost kiss, except for Jason calls him on the phone and interrupts the moment. Aren stupidly picks it up. I'm never picking up the phone.
I never understood. I hate that. I get it. It's a part of the movies. I get it. I hate it. Yeah. First of all, who the fuck has their ringer on anyway? Yeah, right?
Gross.
And second of all,
that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Right. Like nobody walks around with their fucking ringer on. Second of all, don't pick up the phone, bro. Like I get it. It's part of the movies. I'm not going to knock a point off for it. It's just dumb.
Yeah, No. Oh, I'm about to make out with this girl that I really like? Hold on. Let me pick it up. Oh, is it a spam call? Yeah, no. Fuck off. I'll call you back. Trying to see what's happening over here. So
there's a quick scene of magic shit of this sharecropping nigga in 2024 levitating barrel a thing of hay.
Bales of hay.
Yeah. And another one where corporate black man goes and caresses the groin of a white man. These are jokes, I guess, right? Like these are jokes.
Hilarious.
And then they all get pulled into the society because apparently somebody had the nerve to be tired of debasing themselves and saying, I think you need to shut the fuck up or whatever, right? And whenever somebody does that, they all get pulled back from what they're doing, which, can they be seen? Like the guy that was getting groped by the black guy, like that guy just disappears, right? But he was standing directly in front of the guy. He was standing directly in front of him. So, like,
where'd Jamal go? I don't know. I don't know the rules.
I think my brain shut off, and I didn't even realize that how so fucking stupid that was. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, come on, yo.
Because at least the other guy was by himself as he was levitating the hay.
Right. The other guy had the white guy was sleeping, right? The white guy was sleeping. Yeah. He had his hat over his fucking, because they lazy, right? But like this dude was literally like face to face. Black guy got his fucking mitts on your balls, and then he just gets called out, and it's just like the fuck. -3, yo. -3. Like it's shit like this that I can't.
No, you were already on -3.
I think you were already at -3.
No, you can go lower. You can go lower. Go lower.
-4. Fuck it. No, -5. One for each ball that was fondled, and then just this nigga just disappeared. What the fuck?
Yo. Just plot holes galore, yo. Good lord, man. This movie is really bad. It's really bad.
This shit don't make sense, yo. This shit don't make sense. And look, I get it, yo. Like, it's a movie about magic niggas, right? I get it. But you gotta, rules have been established, right? Rules have been established. You can't break your own fucking rules. Your rules can be fucking wild, right? They could be fucking wild. But niggas know magic. White people are babies. But fine. But you can't break your own rules, yo. Yeah, if he can see this nigga and this nigga just disappears, like
at least pause time. Give me some Professor X shit, right?
And again, at the end,
use your magic to be like, oh shit, I hear they're calling me back. Magic, and then you can't, and then the guy is just like in a coma or whatever, right? Like, just do something, yo. Do something. I'm about to turn this fucking movie off, man. I can't deal with this shit. I can't deal with this shit.
So I was thinking, if you're gonna do this, John Boyega as your sort of Harry Potter, that's a pretty good casting, right? I like John Boyega.
I would rather Justice Smith's character be like a darker gentleman. Again, I understand why they picked a
John Boyega
mixed gentleman.
Harry Potter.
John Boyega, or what's the other dude's name? What's the other one? John Boyega.
Desmond Idris. He could also be a Harry Potter.
Idris. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah, he would work. I think he might be too tall to be a Harry Potter nigga though.
No, but this is our shit.
Nah, this is black Harry Potter.
Yeah, this is black Harry Potter. Everybody's 6'5".
Yeah,
can dunk.
That nigga, he ain't hiding in the under the stairs. Get the fuck out of here. He can't fit under the stairs.
Oh my god.
So yeah, it's very silly, very silly. All right, I'm gonna super fast forward because fuck this. At this point, we see a moment where Roger and Aren are sitting down, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been in the game a long time. I've seen some shit. I once was in love with this black woman, and then I just ceded her to a white man because of my job. Because it was better for this white man to be happy than to me to be happy." Message, which is a weird message coming from a character that's like, this is a good thing. And he's not sad about it. Like, he's like, I don't regret anything. I'm like,
he's not showing. Yeah, he said something about he told the story about his father's shoes. Was this the same? Was this the
yeah, it's the same story.
Scene where he tells the story about him running up to his father. He used to shine shoes, and some white man spit on his father's head. First of all, I'd have died that day. But anyway, his father continued to.
Spitting is one of the fucking most disgusting things you can do to a person.
I'd have stabbed him with the fucking brush. I don't know how I would have pulled it off. I'd have stabbed him with that shoe shine brush. But yeah, he's like, hey, he dude spit on my father's head and he ain't do nothing. I ran home crying, and then his grandmother was like, hey, did he come home alive? That's all that matters. I'm like, I get it. He was a young kid. This was like probably the 50s or 60s. I'm still, nah, yo. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, I don't regret anything. I can't regret anything that I do because it keeps me alive in the end.
So
that's a weird lesson to tell somebody, right?
Right. So the lesson here is, as a young boy, I watched my strong, tough father debase himself.
Get humiliated.
Right. Get humiliated and forced to debase himself in front of this white man. And what I decided to learn from that lesson is I should be a professional at debasing myself and push black people to debase themselves across all of American society instead of slapping white people across the face for spitting on them.
Yeah, continue his father's his legacy of just, for that one sequence in his life.
Before seeing this movie, I didn't think people had a worse ability to learn a lesson in a movie that we did previously, in the movie Soul Food, where they literally watched their grandmother eat herself to death, and the lesson they learned was cook more Sunday dinners. Let's
continue to do Sunday morning, Sunday dinners with the same recipes that killed our grandmother. Because
let's continue to have Thanksgiving every week.
Right. What the fuck? Big Mama, your arm. Oh, I didn't even know it was on fire. Like, are y'all ready for another deep fried fish this Sunday? Like, that's not a good idea. Salad, Big Mama, salad. God damn.
Oh no.
Go for a walk. So yeah, and this he learns no lesson. He learns the worst lesson, which is to just double down on debasement.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
Yes. Stupid.
Let's see. Aren later on runs into Lizzie and tries to act like they didn't almost kiss. Aren tries to convince Jason to have Lizzie pitch with him. By the way, Lizzie calls him out about that. Like later on, she was like, "No, like what the fuck? Like no, that almost happened. Like knock it off." Which leads me to believe, in hindsight, that she was Aren was her client. So make that make sense.
Maybe. Okay.
Or is Jason her client? Make that fucking make sense.
No, because she's been there. Okay.
It has to be Jason, right? Because
it's gotta be been there because they've been working with each other for a while.
You don't know that. She has fucking magic. Maybe they think she's been there the whole time, but through the course of magic, she just got there 6 minutes ago. You don't know that. You guys don't know. You're speaking from a point of ignorance.
If that was the case, if that was the case, then the white guy did do all the work.
Right.
And she just got there.
Here's the thing.
And that's
she's been
the
there
lesson.
and he keeps
roll credits. White men do all the work.
She's been there and he literally says, "Oh, that's my work wife," right? So they've been there, they've been working with each other for a while. Or it was magic, like Jay said, and they've only been there for like a day. Okay, what the fuck ever. So Aren, Aren, stupid, is like, hey, maybe you two should. I
was about to say something real problematic. I forgot we're recording, but yeah.
So he goes, okay, maybe you two should get together.
We'll be done soon.
Right. Maybe we should get together. Okay, maybe you two should get together. But they had she didn't have any interest in Jason. No. And he had no interest in her. So if he decides to go for her, and this is the part, technically, the woman that told the nurse that told the fucking other doctor to go fuck himself was the one that started causing the magic issues. Yeah. So it was Roger's fault that he was like, no, don't go for her. Roger was like, nah, don't go for that chick because if you do, you fail your assignment. What was his assignment?
Well, you always have to put the white man first. You can't put yourself.
But he made the white man fall for her. He did that. So how does this work?
No, here's the thing. This is the part that you're forgetting because your brain is working. Mistake number one.
Not for long.
Sorry.
Not if I keep this moving on.
Mistake number one. You're using thought processes. Get the fuck out of here with that. No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? As long as he puts himself in as the priority over a white person. Again, we're talking about black people as if they're not human beings. As long as he puts himself at the forefront of anything in front of a white man, then the society falls apart. So it doesn't matter that he set it up. Doesn't matter. Like, Jason now was interested, and now he's legitimately interested. So if you try to jump in front, you already fucked up. You blew up the whole society. It's your fault, Aren. It's your fault. See how that don't make sense? Exactly. So I'm trying to come up with a Hermione Granger character.
I don't know who that is, so I can't. Tiana Paris. Fuck it.
Hey, I like that.
And whatever the fuck she's in.
Yep.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm more than fine with it. Yeah, okay, Tiana Paris. I like it. We need a goofball black dude, like a funny sidekick. That's your Ron Weasley.
Just pick a name out of hat, yo. There's a lot of goofy niggas out there.
Kevin Hart.
No, he can't be Ron Weasley, yo.
No, he can't. I don't want Kevin Hart to be Ron.
I don't know who Ron Weasley is.
He's Harry Potter's best friend, so he would have to be a John Boyega or Desmond Idris contemporary.
Oh, okay, so younger.
What about that R.J. Cyler guy? Right, like he's like a.
I like R.J. Cyler.
Yeah, he's all right.
I like him he's in this movie. He's in the show Rap Shit. Well, they canceled it. The show Rap Shit. Pretty good. He would work. He was also in.
He's free.
Clarence.
He's free. He's not working right now. R.J. Cyler. All right, that's pretty good. All right, let me keep going. Again, Aren apologized to Lizzie. He's like, yeah, sorry, I was weird the other day. And she's like, wow, you're wearing another knitted sweater. Where does this movie even take place? And so he's like, yeah, my bad about that. And she's like, yeah, you're saying that nothing happened? I'm going to go ahead and call that bullshit. That's not how it worked. We almost had a moment. We did have a moment. It was a really lovely moment. But now let's be friends, which no guy truly needs.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Get out of here.
This is part of the romantic comedy where the would-be couple has to face some sort of usually manufactured adversity where they split and then they have to come back together. This is the dumbest version of that I've ever seen. Now, look, I'm not a romantic comedy expert. You tell me, but is this not the stupidest reason for the people who have the meet cute? They get along, then they break up only to come back together. This is the dumbest reason, right? Can you think of another movie that had a dumber reason?
Oh, definitely. The classic thing is the miscommunication. I said X when you thought I said Y because I whispered it. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like just.
But here's the thing, though. Okay. But here's the thing: miscommunication between couples happens.
Yes, that's true.
This magic nigga told me that I can't be with you even though I want to be with you. What?
I don't know. That's a pretty good excuse. It's unique. It's a unique excuse. So yeah, look, it's very stupid. I agree with you. Then Aren gets real sad and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what every alpha male does. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna knit until I fall asleep. Which is just hilarious.
Look, I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, you can knit.
A great knitter. It's a great. He's a knitter.
Yeah, he has a very nice apartment for a
He's a real knitter. That's what
yeah. He knits maybe
he's got a loft, I guess, or does he live above like a? It looks like a nice open space.
Yeah, it looks great. That sweater he knitted is terrible.
It's not even finished. It's baggy.
I don't care for this look.
Okay.
I'm more of a medium type of guy. I'm not wearing. This is way too baggy. Get out of here. Can't even tell if you work out, bro. Get out of here. So Aren runs in to the office. They're supposed to have this big presentation he's supposed to help Jason with, where Jason will take credit for Lizzie's work. And as every red-blooded American male has experienced, he has to have his come to blackness moment where he goes and confronts Jason during the event as it's being broadcast around the world. And he's like, look, man, you just told me I was basically a diversity hire. Like, I didn't like that shit. And he just calls this guy out. And it's like being broadcast and everything. And he's like, oh, I didn't know any of that could happen. Sorry about that. Like, how are you saying this is racist? I'm not a racist, so I couldn't have done anything that's racist, which is the weird, annoying, circular white people logic that makes you want to push Jason right off that fucking stage. Over and over and over again until I got tired. And so they're just, like, he's just going back and forth and he's just fucking letting him have it. And again, this is... Every black person has this moment, not necessarily confronting a white person and screaming at them, but realizing their place in the world. And you have to go through it. He's 27. That's way too fucking old to be going through it. I feel like you should be going through it in your early teens, maybe your mid-teens, right? I'll give you 18, maybe even 19. But 27, better late than never. He has that moment where he realizes that as a black man, he is being treated in a way that is unacceptable. And he is watching white people treat others in a way that he never will be treated. And he's mad about it. And he has every right to be mad about it.
Good for him.
Yeah. But like you said, it comes unearned. It really does come unearned. Because again, the impetus for this is... I'm going to ask that girl you like out. Okay.
That you told me to go get with.
Yeah. He didn't steal her
away from
me.
You. Yeah, he didn't do anything that you didn't tell him to do. You did that. That's your fault.
Yes.
Now you're mad because he did it. That's so fucking stupid.
By the way.
I swear to God, yo.
By the way.
Also, you don't really work there, nigga. You don't really work there. You don't really work there, yo. What do you get? Like, let this dude fail. Let him fail. Who gives a shit? Go get your girl, yo.
I'll disappear. Be like, where'd he go?
But here's my question.
But he'd fail, and the magic would die because
who gives a shit? He ain't doing no
magical
magic.
Niggas care, yo.
he ain't doing a what magic thing did Aren do?
He made the computer appear. Yeah, now what?
Did he make the laptop appear?
Yeah, he did. He was the only magic nigga there.
All right. So he did this. He did this. He did this. Boop. That's it. That's
what he did.
That's it.
Yeah.
He only learned one spell.
All right.
That's all he learned. Yeah, you can't be mad at him. He don't even have a Patronus or anything.
Laptopus Apirus? That's what the fuck, yo? Like,
you were close. You were close. That was almost a spit take. God damn it. So close. That's fucking 2 weeks in a row.
God damn.
So close. So he has this moment with him. And look, by the way, I think one of the things that bothers me, and it's not readily obvious until like really rewatching this, is
it the fact he's doing it in that sweater?
Well, okay, that's
like
I'm like, yo,
idiot.
This sweater is 9 sizes too big. That's your dad's sweater.
Oh, sorry.
But okay, what really bothers me about this scene, besides the weird impetus to have this speech that makes no sense, is both Jason and Aren are going back and forth, whether directly or indirectly, about asking Lizzie out, right? And like, oh, it's this big deal, and this is his big impetus for going and making this speech and all this other shit because he wants to stop Jason from doing it so that he can scoop up Lizzie. You wrote a story about how black people are treated poorly and that they have this society and debasing and all this other stuff for their own safety and everything else. But you wrote the female character as having no fucking agency. Because you wrote these two...
That's for the sequel.
Not for me, it won't be. I'll never know. But you got these two male characters that are like, I'm going to ask her out. The irony is she's not even interested in Jason.
Yeah, she never was.
She
probably would be like, no.
Right.
Good.
So if I'm Aren in this universe, what sense does it make? I'm going to sit back in my shitty design sweater and just watch this dude run into a brick wall that is Lizzie's interest, and then just be like, "Cool, I'm gonna go pick up the pieces. All right, you done? You don't want him? Great. Now I'm gonna go ask you out. See, if you just kept your mouth shut, this is a self-correcting problem. It's dumb.
So, what's your score?
Because I think I'm at a -2.
I'm still a -1. I just stopped giving a fuck at this point. Whatever, dog. -2. What was that? -2. This doesn't get any merit points for me. Fuck this movie. Like, there's just so many problems with it. Like, you just okay. Anyway, they get into an argument. He's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know you felt like that," and then he leaves. And he meets up with Lizzie, and he puts her on the fucking Empire State Building, right?
Again, that's a -6. -6, nigga. What is the time? What is the time? Like,
no, he just teleported. He teleported. He didn't need time.
No, he teleported her to. No, not this part. It's after this happens. He gets pulled back into the Negro leagues.
I'll save it. I'll save it. I'll save it.
All right, go ahead, Terrence. What were you saying?
No, he sends it to the Empire State Building, and then all of a sudden, like, he does fuck up. This is his fuck up because he put himself first, apparently for some shit that he caused in the first place. And again,
correct.
She was never interested in that nigga. And then like, hey, you fucked up, so you get excommunicated from the place. And then he and fucking Roger meet up, and they're like, hey, whatever. And she's leaving messages. How long has she been leaving messages? To the point where she was able to, I guess this is what you were talking about, Micah, where she's like,
yes,
able to make it all the way back to fucking LA.
Right? They teleport from Los Angeles, California, to the Empire State Building in New York City, right? And then he gets transported to the magical society of niggas who don't do nothing, and they say, how dare you think about doing things for yourself, you are done, right? And then he teleports out with Roger, who's like, all right, I mean, I gotta wipe your mind, but all right. And then he like pretends to do it or whatever, right? Because like,
don't work.
I love you, kid.
No, he said it doesn't work. He tries to, it doesn't work. He said, somebody has a notion that you're magical. That's why he couldn't do it.
Oh, I read that as I thought he was just faking it, right? Like looking out for the kid because he developed some sort of. Well, then that's even worse. -7, and then he goes, and then This woman is 3,000 miles away. Okay, and they're all wearing the same clothes, right? So I'm assuming that this stuff happened in real time as we were seeing it in the film. They teleported 3,000 miles away. David Alan Grier is like, I mean, the spell didn't work, but like, that's the least of your problems. You got to go get your girl. And then this nigga starts hoofing it, right? He starts running. To where? Who knows?
Around the corner. Literally around the corner.
He's running, and all of a sudden, a bunch of text messages come through, and just like, so she. And at this point, we don't know the stinger, right? At this point, we don't know the stinger, right? And he's just running. He's just running to wherever, right?
That's a trope, right?
Yeah,
right. I get it. Right? I get it. But he doesn't know where he's running. He's not meeting her anywhere. She's just like, hey, drop me off at this corner of top of the hill and not, right? And then they meet magically, right? They meet magically, and then they walk down the street with the worst fucking ADR, the most obvious ADR lines. And how does she get from New York to LA? At this point, we don't know that she's part of this magical society. Nigga.
No, she flew. She said,
I'm getting off the plane. I'm at the airport. I'm getting off the plane now.
In 5 minutes. In 5 minutes.
Nigga, that's what she
In
said.
5
She could have
minutes?
used her magic to teleport back.
I
don't know what magic she has.
Yeah,
they don't
see?
explain it because the
Yeah.
stinger is so swag. But yeah, I'm just going to assume somehow she got off the Empire State Building, made it to LaGuardia Airport or whatever the fuck JFK, whatever the fuck airport she went to, and flew 3,000 miles across the country in a day and made it back before the streetlights came on.
See, that's how you know
Fuck
she's not
you,
black.
movie.
That's how you know she's not black. No, but
And
okay.
they
Now
just meet up with
here's
each other at the.
okay. But here's the thing: before the stinger happens, one of the things that really annoyed me was how was she so calm that this dude left her on the Empire State Building and then vanished? Right? Okay, like
Yeah, he
she's
said, "I have
like,
to
oh, I'm just getting
explain
on a
something to
plane,
you," and
no
then he
big
gets-
deal. I just spent $700 on a ticket. I wasn't expecting. I have a budget. I'm a young person. I am not in a dual income household. No big deal.
Oh shit!
I'm taking Delta. I don't even like Delta. Like, it was the first jet I could get. And so yeah, he runs and he runs and he runs, and then the stinger is that in fact Lizzie, she was like, oh, he's like, oh, I was in this magical society, and I just quit, and she's like, oh, okay, so she's totally cool with the explanation of I know magic. All right, and so then she's like, yeah, I was just about to quit a magic society too. He's like, ha ha ha, very funny. You're making fun of me. And then you see her go into a beauty salon, and she shows her So Swag ring, and come to find out, she's a part of a magic society too. The society of supportive wives or girlfriends. And
girlfriends.
So there you go.
and girlfriends.
And girlfriends. And that's the end of the movie, everybody.
This is a bad movie, man. This is a really bad movie. And look, I'm not saying that, for like this movie doesn't make sense. The movie is toothless. And even the part that it focuses on is not good. It's a subpar romantic comedy. That's not funny. So this movie for me failed on every level. I get no enjoyment out of watching these types of movies, but I do get enjoyment out of doing these types of episodes. Nah, man, this ain't it. Try harder next time, Kobe.
Okay, so here's my rundown. I think I finalized my character list. I agree that Samuel L. Jackson is your Dumbledore. I like that. Denzel Washington is your Sirius Black. Dr. Umar is Voldemort, 100%. Morgan Freeman is I don't know who Morgan Freeman is, but he's a middle of the road character who's like, we should just keep debasing ourselves. And I like sleeping with my step granddaughter for some fucking reason. He did that. That's gross. John Boyega or Desmond Idris. Desmond Idris as the Harry Potter character. Teyonah Paris as Hermione, and R.J. Seiler as Ron. I like it. Not bad. Who's a prick? Who's a young black actor, male actor who's just like a real prick?
Are you going into acting anytime soon?
I'm too old for the role. You know what? Soldier Boy can play Draco Malfoy. He's an asshole. He calls himself Draco anyway, so it works. All right, that is it for us. That was very fun. I think the term limboing a movie will absolutely last past this episode. That's very good. Thank you, Micah, for that. So I guess the only thing I can say is go see this movie or don't. Probably don't. But hopefully you enjoyed that episode. We will be back for a preview episode for episode 263 next week.
See ya.
Take it easy.
You're watching the Black on Black Cinema YouTube channel. Make sure you check out our full reviews of black movies, past and present. And every other week, we do a preview episode where we talk about a random topic that affects the black community.